I play the character of Beatrice Pryor, more recognized as Tris Pryor. And she starts off in a faction called Abnegation, which values selflessness. And throughout the film, she decides to transfer into a different faction, which values bravery. And her constant battle within her own mind is, am I selfless or am I brave? And through that indecision, she becomes a young woman and also brings others with her and starts to save her whole colony. This movie is going to be so beautiful to watch. His capability of creating a world that doesn't exist is unbelievable. I'm so in awe of what he's created and what he continues to create, and we couldn't be luckier to have a director who's so open to collaboration and who really, he doesn't seem to have an ego. You know, I'm able to talk to him about things that, whether he agrees with them or not, he's able to hear me. And it's not just me, it's anybody on set, no matter what department we're in, hair, makeup, art department, other actors. He's very open to collaboration, and that's a beautiful and rare quality to have within such a big, profound director. I see Divergent as a movie about integrity. It follows a young adult, a young woman who leaves a faction behind which values selflessness and transfers herself into a faction that values bravery. And there's another faction that values intelligence who is trying to take over many things that they don't have the rights to take over. And throughout the movie, Tris, this young woman, has to bring together her community to change some paradigms and to shift some paradigms of thinking in order to not only save the current world that she lives in, but also remind people of the importance of integrity and the importance of being who you are and sticking to your truths. The world of Divergent is giant. It's sort of unfathomable. The pit alone, the pit we're in right now, is almost the size of a whole soundstage. They really, it's one thing to read a book, especially a book about the future, and then to come up with that world, and through the director Neil Berger and through the art department as well as every other department involved in this movie, they created something that is relatable. It's something we recognize in today's world, in today's society, but it's also tweaked just enough to establish that it is something of the future. We're of the future in this movie. We're not in the present day. What was so beautiful about Tony Goldwyn and Ashley Judd is that they have worked together before, and I had never met either of them. And I'll never forget the very first day that we were all on set. It was Ansel and I, as well as Ashley and Tony. And Tony had such deep respect for Ashley, and Ashley had such deep respect for Tony. And they both had really, really phenomenal things to say about each other, which doesn't always happen, between two actors, or between two brokers, or between two people who work at a fast food chain. So it was really amazing to sort of witness the deep reverence for each other, and between getting to know both of them. I mean, Ashley is such a strong woman who I respect so deeply. I'm in awe of what she's able to accomplish and what she does accomplish, and yet with such ease and such beauty and such just like raw, strong humanity. And Tony as well, I haven't worked with him as much, but he's just a kind, pure person, like another really strong person. We're so very fortunate in this film to be surrounded by very strong people with high integrity and with pure intentions, people who get things done, and also who do work with the world. Divergent visually is going to be extremely compelling, and I think that's going to bring a lot of people in because it's this new world, and it's full of new experiences and new walls to sort of explore. But ultimately what drew me to this movie, and what I think will draw a lot of people, is that it's very metaphorical to things that are happening today. And there's a lot of beauty in that. There's a lot of beauty in seeing a movie that visually is stunning and that takes you on a roller coaster of emotions through the characters' experiences, but yet you can also relate to. And this being a dystopian, sort of futuristic world, and yet having so many comparisons to today's model and to what's going on in today's world, I think is very intriguing and very interesting. And I think that a lot of people will respond to that.